I feel like I'm in the middle of a meadow. You can tune out the sound, that low-level background noise, and all you hear is the calling of the herring gulls or the crows or the ravens. And you just look at this green. You wouldn't believe that you're in New York City, in Manhattan, on top of one of the busiest convention centers. You just wouldn't believe that.
Sustainability is essential in buildings because buildings are the largest single contributor to greenhouse gases.
A sustainable property works in harmony with the environment, with its geographic location, with the community.
It's important that a building like this, which generates carbon activity, should have programs to help offset that activity.
So we're creating an ecosystem right on top of our very own roof in New York City. The medium on the roof is called sedum. There's 11 different types of plants within the sedum. Sedum is a low-lying plant that's able to retain water. So as a result, the green roof can actually retain up to 6.75 million gallons of stormwater annually.
We reduce the amount of energy consumption in a building by having a more thermally protected building.
So actually it reduces the temperature in the whole neighborhood. It's become a wildlife sanctuary.
The Javits Center green roof is helping to sustain the bird population in New York City. It's a nice flat area where they can land, rest, and the next morning they can take off. The green roof not only serves the building on which it sits, but also the community in which it lies.
This is really the trailhead of the High Line.
It's important that we also contribute to that general sense of greenness in what is a very big urban concrete conurbation.
Before we started the renovation, the building was performing at about 10% below code for energy consumption, and we actually improved the energy consumption by 26%.
Before we introduced all this new technology, there was no way to measure. In order for you to understand how a building is functioning, you need to understand how to measure it. We have a building management system that allows us to not only control HVAC equipment, mechanical equipment, but it also allows us to conserve energy.
We've made the Javits Center more efficient than ever before by installing variable air volume boxes, energy-efficient lighting, and enrolling in a demand response program. We also conserve water through the installation of low-flow plumbing fixtures such as toilets, faucets, and shower heads.
The Javits Center had the reputation of being the worst bird killer in the city of New York. Because the glass was so reflective, the birds would see it as sky and they would just smash into the glass. We replaced the facade. We also introduced a dot pattern.
It's good enough for the birds to see it, but it's not that noticeable for people. The collisions were decreased by more than 90%, which is huge. We point to this building as a success story for bird-friendly design.
We'll actually be expanding the green roof into an intensive green roof, much deeper soil, much larger plants, much more attractive to more species of wildlife.
It will have trees, and we're hoping that we can put some natural New York State prairie grasses in that kind of space.
And we are looking also to have that expansion project be LEED Silver certified.
It's not only making the building more efficient, it's also making the building much more welcoming for all of our visitors.
We're supporting both the state, the city, the customer, and my own personal interest, which is that we should be doing something that's not just important economically, but good for the environment.
Breathing up here, even though you're in the center of the city, and coming out into nature, it's healthy.
Anything we can do to make buildings more sustainable, consume less energy, be more adaptable to climate conditions, the longer we're going to preserve this planet.